Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us for this ChiliPAC webinar Q&A, all about the refresh and some of the updates that the ChiliFresh team has done on our public catalogs. Part of the refresh is like evergreen stuff. Part of it is ChiliPAC, ChiliFresh stuff. So today we're going to talk about some of the updates they made in terms of aesthetics and some of the just kind of going over everything that ChiliPAC has to offer. So without further ado, Eurus, if you want to take over, are you able to
Mhm.
share your screen?
Let me check.
I
I
might have
think
to.
I am.
Okay,
Yep, I'm able to
great.
share it. Please tell me when you see it.
Yep, seeing it.
Yep. Okay, yeah, so like we agreed with Catherine before, so I'll focus a bit more what has changed, because we had another webinar like about the functionality of ChiliPAC, and we won't go much into detail there. But probably you have seen this new layout of ChiliPAC, and I'm showing it on the test catalog of pails. And this will actually be the default color scheme. So after migration, but I'll get a bit into details of how we can change that. But in a few words, what has changed with this layout? So it was done by our designers, and basically, if you look the difference between the current catalog, which has like it has, first of all, it has the current version has like a two color scheme, which is the base color and then like the sub color, and it has more like rounded corners and not that many icons. So this new like trends in design, according to our designers, is that basically it goes into more like minimalism, and going away from these rounded corners into more like squared shapes, and I would say like highlighting the content, like we have the bigger also cover art here on the carousels and actually throughout the catalog. And here, yeah, so like I said, so basically the color schemes now have changed to just two colors, which basically has the color you pick for like header, for buttons, icons, etc. And then there's the white for like all the rest. And about so if you remember previously, you were able to pick from some 20 plus like predefined color schemes. So now you'll be able to basically choose the color, like any color it applies right away. So meaning this new design, this front end design technology is, I would say, much more flexible than the previous was. And just to show, yeah, how what's the difference on the admin panel for changing the colors. So previously, if you went to ChiliFresh admin panel, to ChiliPAC section and settings part, so you were able to basically pick these color schemes which we provided, which were predefined because it required like a process to compile them for them to start working. So now basically you'll be able to put here any color, and basically in this drop down selector, we like the base colors and the different like tones of it. You can just pick any, click save, and it will start applying to the catalog. And if you want, if you have some like even more specific tones, so you can put this hex code of the color right here and use that. So we just put it for the convenience, like let's say the base tones, and then the darkness of it. And as before, so if you're using some background picture from before, so it will stay, or you can also change it to a different one, like it is possible currently. So about layouts, I think those are the key changes. And once you browse through the catalog, you will see more use of icons. and maybe some elements will have been realigned, but the placement of them hasn't changed. You'll find them all. Let's do just a search in the catalog to show what I mean. So the auto suggest is there. So basically, from ChiliPAC side, I want to say that functionality wise, nothing changes with this layout change. Functionality is what it was before, so nothing goes away, nothing is added, but so you can see like bigger buttons to highlight them, use of icons, and basically once you pick the color, so it will apply throughout the catalog. Also, for example, the book lists will lay out the same, will have the same features like download PDF, duplicate the book list, and yeah, so it has all the same elements. Same about the ChiliPAC profile, same way to create the book list, bookshelves, etc. So I think unless somebody wants to, so I will not go into detail with that. Also, maybe just mention, so with this migrating to this new like front end and technology, so one thing that's also maybe you won't notice much, but it lays out better on the mobile devices, meaning this let's say shrinking the screen, let's say gets a bit more flexibility. So I mean, you also see the same change on your mobile devices when browsing the catalog. And otherwise, from configuration, so what configuration you have, or what you set up in settings for on this ChiliFresh admin panel, what like carousels you use, or these web carousels that you use. So all of that will stay as it is in the real catalog. So currently, you probably saw a difference in this Pale's original and Pale's new test catalog. So we have carousels here because for test catalogs we created like new instances. But when this migration will be done on your real catalog, so you will inherit these settings that came from before. So having said all that, I think the only change which might be needed from like library side is that basically picking this base color for your catalog if you want it different. So it can be done on ChiliFresh admin panel. I don't know. So that's, I think, it from my side in general. Catherine, maybe you want to add something?
Yeah. So I had pointed out on the video walkthrough that I had done of the new features refresh that now you can see the book list results when you search, like in the search results, if you like, for example, I think I searched the word cupcakes. There's like a book list, like facet on the left-hand side of the search results where you can see book list search results instead of having to go into the search book lists page.
Mm-hmm. It's slow for me, but it's not
Down at
it's
the
not getting.
bottom. Yeah, that.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's new as far as I know. Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm. I think we had it in the old catalog. I must double check. Yeah.
Well, it's something that I hadn't noticed. So besides that, does anybody have questions about ChiliPAC functions, features, changes?
So I know Kat went over this in her intro video, but these are the reason for these changes is that we are moving up to an upgraded version of the Evergreen OPAC based on a technology called Bootstrap. And so we call it the BooPack sometimes, or the Boop, which is my favorite. And this upgraded OPAC on the Evergreen side does have some more kind of accessibility slash adaptable display features. And you will see for the next few weeks, if after your library has been switched over to BooPack, if you go to search catalog traditional, then you will see this catalog, the BooPack catalog, as opposed to the old public catalog. And then after our upgrade to 3.11, in November, then the search catalog traditional button will no longer appear. So that's the reason that ChiliPAC did this refresh for us, to be consistent with all the evergreen parts of it. And we're excited to be moving forward and improving some of the, there's some back end things as well as accessibility things that come along with making this upgrade. So we're excited to be able to do that and keep all of our ChiliPAC features. And I see that Gina has asked the favorite question, which is, what is the difference between bookshelves and baskets? And I'll let Kat take that one.
Yeah. So baskets are, so that icon in the top right that has the little basket with the number 0, that is your basket, and that is like a temporary holding place for items. As you're searching, as you're browsing through the catalog, you can add items to your basket. When you like close out the window, those are going to be gone. So it only exists in the current session that you're in on the catalog. Bookshelves are, so I think of it like sort of like your Goodreads, to be read, in progress, read. They are private unless you make them public, but it is kind of more just for your personal, like keeping track of what you want to read and what you're reading. Yeah, so the bookshelves, there's just the 3: TBR, currently reading, read, and then book lists are customizable. They are, you can name them whatever you want, unlike bookshelves, and you can share them. So they're more intended for like sharing or embedding on a website or something like that. Whereas bookshelves is like, this is my personal keeping track of stuff. Does that make sense, Gina? Still not clear on the difference. Okay. I can list and bookshelf. Book list are, I guess it's like, it's sort of like, think of it like a display at the library that's like for Pi Day or something. Like it's maybe surrounding a theme, or it's just like a recommended reading list or whatever you want it to be. And they are more, I guess, like shareable than bookshelves. Bookshelves are just like part of your ChiliPAC profile. It's just inherent in the, yeah.
Yuris, do you want to go through a little bit about the difference between bookshelves and book lists, and show them on your screen there how they function and how they can be used?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Catherine was right. So basically, the key difference is that the bookshelves are basically meant for your own like use through the catalog. So like Catherine already said, that there's like only 3 of them that are predefined, and you can only make them public if you want to. So by default, they're private. However, book lists are meant specifically, like you can use it also for your own use, but they are meant specifically for like sharing. So you can create as many book lists as you like. So there are no predefined ones. You can name them what you want, and you can also keep them whether public, or you can keep them private. That you can still share them, but so that nobody else can find them. Yeah, briefly they work. So there's two ways to create book lists and to basically manage them. So first way is from the search results. So if we go back to results, here you have this add to book list button, also add to bookshelf button. So once you click add to book list, so it will show your latest 5 book lists used, and you just pick one where to add this item to, or create one from the scratch. The other way is if you go through your profile or from the book list up top here. So it will take you to this book list management page, basically where you can see all of the book lists you have created. And to pick the specific book list, it has this add to book list button, add item, and here again you can search the catalog and add the item from here. So 2 ways to add items to the book list. And another key difference between the book lists and bookshelves is that you can use this book list for various purposes. So basically, whether creating a reading list that you want to suggest, or like for librarians to use it for reference desk requests, curriculum, etc. And the key difference is that on book lists you can also add electronic resources. Basically, we call it add the website, but basically you can put a link to any electronic articles, or even, I don't know, PDFs, whatever there is that has its own URL online.
Mm.
And with book lists, you'll also get this for each book list has its own URL that once you copy it, it's basically it's static, it doesn't change, so you can copy it and share with your friends. So you can email it, and so this book list, once you update it, it will also appear. And if you want to keep it static, so you can download this PDF version of book list. And once creating a book list, you can also rearrange the order, how you want to see it, to put the key items on top, as well as use this add notes feature where you can put some comment like why this item, why the book list basically.
The other benefit of book lists is if you make your book list public, it becomes part of a huge global database of book lists that have been created by library staff and patrons around the world. And then those book lists can be searched from inside the catalog as well, which happens, and we use a lot of that information in our connections section in making suggestions based on what other people have put in book lists compared to what you're searching for and so on. So it becomes an organic reader's advisory as well.
And if you want to look at some example book lists that have been made by staff from Spark Libraries, look at York's OPAC and look at Easton's OPAC. I think Lower Macungie have really been using the staff lists in a really cool way. I know York had an event called Go Green in the City, so they created a book list of items that were related to environmental policy and awareness, and they had a link to the Go Green in the City website so that you could easily get to the event page and find out the details. So there's lots of ways that you can be creative with it. Yeah, Ian shared a link to a book list from Easton.
Autumn has a good question, which is, can we place holds directly from the ChiliPAC book lists? I know if you make a wait, now I've confused myself about the names. I think you would have to go into the click through to the individual bibs, right, to place holds from the book lists.
Yeah, currently we set it because there was some technical limitation, but actually we could revisit it. Maybe it has changed with this new evergreen update. But I think there was something with the electronic books that couldn't be we couldn't separate like directly. And, yeah, but okay,
Oh
but good
yeah.
question. So we'll revisit it. Ah, but actually
Yeah.
no. So you can in this new one, you once you click on place hold, it takes you directly
To the
to
login. Okay.
placing a hold.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we looked into that and yeah.
So Autumn, you
Nice.
can't
You
do it in, you can't do it all at once. Like you can't hit one button and request them all, but you can look, it looks like you will be able to request them directly from that page without having to click through.
So that
Yeah, it could
ability,
be.
I think that ability was there before. I remember like having, I know I can, whenever I open the actual link, I can see it. It's just that I was wondering, we've had members ask about bulk selecting. So like, you know how when you have search results, you can like select
Oh.
multiple things and then place the hold all at once. So it's one of those things of if you could make bulk holds from the book list, considering it's someone that's like putting these things in their list for their use later. If that
Mhm.
if bulk selected, if bulk placing holds could be a
Okay.
capability, just to
Thank you. I'll take the note and we'll look into that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's a good suggestion.
When we were just talking the other day about how a lot of patrons use the suspend holds feature, so they'll do that, they'll like place a ton of stuff on hold and then suspend everything but the few things that they want right away, and then they can go, they're using it as like a TBR pile that they can go in and unfreeze those holds as they want things. And that's cool, and it's a great use of the software and had never occurred to me before. I think it was Mary Beth was telling us about it, or it might have been the Adams folks, but so yeah, we can look more into those options for bulk holds. Ian, and I have to say, having met Ian, that this is a very Ian thing to ask, if I may say that, about consistency of capitalization. And so I don't, is that something that you can do on the back end, Eurus, to?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks for the suggestions. For sure, we'll change that.
And okay, so and we talked a little bit about this, but using ChiliPAC on your smartphone, Eurus, if you unmaximize your window and make it kind of smartphone sized, we can see how it would look. As Eurus was saying earlier, this is a much better, the setup is a much better adaptable design for use on cell phones. So what a lot of people like to do is, yeah, just like this, that they would use it through their browser. And that way they can save a shortcut to the homepage on their, on their, not desktop, on their home screen, so that they can go straight to the library and use it that way. There has been some talk about ChiliPAC developing an app, so that may be something that will be available for people who are interested down the line. We have a few libraries that do use third-party apps, but not something that we provide for the consortium. But this is what I do personally, and I find it pretty effective.
thank you. It's helpful.
One thing you could do, and one thing that we've done, we recommended to many of our libraries, and Kat does this for us, is to make QR codes that go to like individual book lists. So then someone can just grab it with their cell phone camera and then go directly to that book list. And then you can say, oh, while you're there, you can log in, you can save this, bookmark this link so that you can come back to the catalog and just use it through your mobile browser. But we find the QR codes are a nice way to draw people in to that. And I forgot, they're
And
you don't have to make the QR code because ChiliPAC makes it for you for the book lists. And then if you wanted to have one for, you know, logging into my account or something like that, you could create one of those. But yes, it's all there for us with the magic of ChiliPAC.
Yep.
Ian says ChiliPAC carousels that are embedded on external websites using the iframe code. I don't think those will need to be updated. Do you know,
No.
Kat?
Yeah. So those won't change as it comes from like our server. So everything else outside the catalog in these carousels are outside the catalog. So those will stay as they are. No updates needed.
Wonderful. Wonderful question. Kat, do you want to remind everyone of the timeline for this while we let people type any more questions they may have?
Yes. So we have a handful of libraries that are getting this update this Friday, September 1st. And these are going to be locations that have done some testing for us and have given some feedback on some of the features. And when they move to this new version, we're going to be making sure everything's working properly, check on links and layout and everything and make sure it all looks good. And then September 8th is when we'll switch everyone over once we've kind of figured out if there's any kinks or any sort of hitch in the system. So yeah, this Friday and then next Friday. So.
And it'll be overnight Friday to Saturday. So it won't be, there's no downtime during the day or anything like that.
I think it was Thursday to Friday, right, Catherine?
Oh,
yeah, for Equinox, they're doing Thursday night into Friday.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so
okay, so you will see it on Friday. Perfect.
Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, if there are colors that you want changed, or there's anything that, if you do see anything that's not behaving as you'd expect, please let us know. We've tried to do really rigorous testing, and the ChiliFresh team has been great at working with us and working through any. We didn't have any big hiccups, but we had, you know, some small things that we got figured out. So we're confident that it's ready for prime time. We're excited to see it.
Yeah, we had great feedback and suggestions, and Iris and Scott have been very generous with the changes they've made and features they've added for us. So we appreciate that. Does anyone else have questions or concerns or ideas? Okay.
I only have one suggestion, that we need to take it up with Equinox. Katie, you remember we spoke last year at your conference about having a reminder email sent out when somebody returns an item. Is that something that's still interesting to you? Do you remember our conversation?
We do. I remember talking to you and Galen about something that seemed really exciting at the time, but my brain was a little melty at PALA last year.
What I suggested, and he said it'd be very simple to do, but we don't touch the ILS portion of this. But what we suggested, and I'll talk to him about it again. I assume he'll be there.
Yes, he will be. We were just chatting with him about it.
Is that when somebody returns an item to the library, that an email is sent out to them, asking them to rate and review
on ChiliPAC. Yeah. Okay, I do remember this. So I will say to everyone here, that is an available action trigger. We don't have it set up with anybody right now, but if someone would like to be the guinea pig and try that out, I think it would be, we probably set it to like 1 email per day instead of 1 email per item.
Right.
But just, like think about the other thing that we could add it to is anybody who does email checkout receipts. So when they patrons and Evergreen can choose if they want print checkout receipts or Lackawanna County is one of our favorite guinea pigs. So I get an email checkout receipt when I bring items home with me that lists the due dates. So it could be in there too.
Right. It just makes a lot of sense, and it's it really isn't spam if you think about your experience with Amazon and other online shopping experiences. It's, you don't feel intimidated by getting this email, and really what you want is a response from them, because all it does is enhance the interaction between the community and the library. Anyway, we'll have that discussion in October. But I think it's worthwhile to do.
Start trying it out, and then even prior to that, because that won't be hard. I get Elizabeth gets mad at me when I speak before I know what I'm talking about, but I think it'll be very easy to implement. So yeah, we'll test that out, and then if it's working well, then we'll tell everybody about it at PALA so they can get it set up too.
Right, and the Eurus can probably help with the proper URL to, specifically to that item. I don't know, Eurus, if we can take them to that item and to the screen that they rate and review it immediately. Obviously, they'd have to sign in, but the less steps they have to take would be better.
I think maybe if you have some automated emails, maybe there is already a feature that you can send links to the specific items that were returned. No, because otherwise we would still need to get like bib ID of the item, and then we can send back the URL or something like that.
We can do barcode, and we can do call number, but I don't know if it does bib, but we can look.
Well, in the checkout receipt, it lists the titles.
When you say receipt, that's a physical piece of paper
or an email. We have both.
Yeah, both. On the physical piece of paper, it may make sense to do a QR code.
Oh yeah, sure.
And then a link in the email.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So if we can be helpful, so basically we can help translating barcodes to basically URLs of the particular items if needed.
Yeah. Okay.
But that brings the review process full circle. And it's something that we've struggled with ILSs around the world, that it's such a simple thing to do, and it really will increase interaction in a friendly, non-spammy way. So
yeah, and there would be ways to do it that where it would be, listing out the titles. I think if libraries have a privacy concern with that, then even just saying, don't forget to rate and review things, here's the link to go to my account, so that if they have their history turned on, then they can see them from there.
Sure.
So that would be just like super simple. But I think if we have some options for something a little bit more sophisticated, that could be cool too.
Sure. Let us know how we can participate, and then we'll continue this conversation at PLA.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
And thank you, Scott. I had completely forgotten about that, so I'm glad that you brought it back around.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Eurus and Scott, for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
And if anyone has questions after the fact, something you think about later on, you can always shoot us an email to the support desk. But yeah, have a great afternoon, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.